Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for another this and that video. And today it's going to be about carrots and more. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're not familiar with these types of videos, I usually try to put one of them out every week, but sometimes it can be a couple of weeks before I get one out. It just really depends on what's going on, how busy I am, and what time of the year it is. Unlike my more single topic videos, these are the kind of videos I use to cover all kinds of various things, usually what's going on currently, such as garden updates, some recent scores I got, like the carrots and what I chose to do with them, and giving you updates on some previous experiments that I've started or projects that I've started, and directing you back to some videos where I already show how to make some of the various things I have going on. So first, let's talk about these carrots. So it was really cool because the other day, we've never seen this before in our local grocery store. We have one big grocery store, just one. So when we do our local shopping, pretty much that's where it all happens, is at our Forks Outfitters. Now, we were in there the other day just picking up our usuals and saw this. We were just going to grab some, a little bag of carrots like we normally do, even though I have a bunch canned up, and we went through all of our homegrown ones. Those we try to save to use raw because those are the best ones to eat fresh right from the garden. But we still like to have some raw carrots on hand. So even though I've got a bunch that were already canned up previously and I have the dried ones, we do like to munch on fresh carrots. So we saw this bag, 25-pound bag of carrots. We put the small bag back that we normally got, and we bought this big 25-pound bag. And so it was really surprising because I've never seen them. They only had the one. And so we grabbed it and decided, well, I guess I'm going to be canning up a bunch more carrots because it was such a great deal. So it was $15 for the 25-pound bag of carrots. And I could see why, because the carrots were all the different shapes like you would normally get from real carrots from your garden. Some that are doubled, some that are twisted. They're all going to be different, unlike, all the ones that are perfectly straight that they put in the bag. So these are basically all the culled carrots that didn't look nice enough to go in those smaller bags. So it was really great. I mean, I think it's silly that here in the United States, everything has to look a certain way or people won't buy it. When if people just grew their own food, they would realize that apples from the tree aren't always all this big and perfectly round. No, they're all different. They all shape differently. It doesn't mean what's on the inside isn't just as good as the one that looks perfect. Sometimes it's even better. So anyway, we bought that bag and I got busy canning most of them. So I have 32 pints right here of canned carrots. And then I took some of, just for an experiment, I've only done this with a little bit so far, was I took those little bags that I was telling you about in my last video. These ones here that I mistakenly thought were silicone. I thought I was buying silicone bags, and these weren't silicone after somebody pointed that out to me. However, I'm really happy with them so far. They are food grade, they are BPA free and all that. And they're reusable, and that's mostly what I was looking for, was something that was a little tougher, reusable, and so on. But anyway, so the smallest bag, the little snack bag, I took a couple of those and cut some carrots up real small like I like to use when I'm doing a stir fry, and I froze up 2 of those. I have a feeling it's going to work really well. I've never tried freezing raw carrots before, but as I said in the video I did about, do I blanch? Well, no, I decided I wasn't going to, just like I'm going to do this with anything I try freezing or dehydrating for the first time. I'm not going to blanch it the first try. I'll just do a small amount, and then if I see the need to blanch it, okay, I will. But so far, I've been happy with what I've done. So we're going to give that a try and see how those turn out. And then maybe by the time I do my next this and that video, I will have tried those carrots in a recipe to see how they turned out, and I'll give you an update on those. But anyway, with the bags, a quick update on the bag. I still haven't used, only been using them for a week. So I do like the way I can much more easily get the air out of these with little effort. And just kind of roll it up and squish the air out and zip them shut. And so I think they're still, if nothing else, they're going to definitely be better than your standard plastic Ziploc bag. We'll see. Look, again, I'm new to these ones, so we'll find out. But anyway, if you're looking specifically for silicone and you went through my link, I apologize. it was one of those things where I did a search for silicone, and I saw, oh, good, those are cool, and I read the reviews and didn't even notice it didn't say that they were actually silicone, so I apologize for that. There are silicone ones out there apparently. And as far as these carrots, one of the things I wanted to say is that when I did a video back when I did my first canning of the carrots, I had it wrongly assumed that carrots were like all other vegetables when it came to pressure canning. And I was canning the pints for 75 minutes. And then some people came in and told me I was canning them for way too long. And I'm like, really? It's carrot. Isn't it the same as a green bean? Because, you know, it was my first time ever canning carrots. Well, guess what? I found, and I looked it up, and I looked it up in my Ball home canning book, and sure enough, 25 minutes only is all you need for pints. Thankfully, the carrots I did for that 3 times as a long time still turned out great. Wow, only 25 minutes. That was one of the reasons I was actually able to get 2 whole batches done yesterday. And the other thing I wanted to say about these carrots is, even though we usually buy the bags of organic carrots, these particular ones were not organic. And as such, what I chose to do was I soaked them in a solution of warm water and some of my homemade vinegar. I did that for a while, and then I went ahead and peeled them. Now, if these were my homegrown carrots and I was going to can them, I wouldn't peel them. I wouldn't do any of that. I'd just rinse the dirt off, cut them up, and can them. And now we still ended up with quite a few carrots after I ran the 2 full canning loads of the carrots, and then I froze some. Some I do want to keep raw for us to snack on, and I might go ahead and make some more kimchi soon. I've fermented carrots by themselves before, but I prefer to mix them with other vegetables. So when I'm fermenting, I like to have something like more like a kimchi. Sometimes I'll do just carrots and cabbage. Sometimes it's carrots, cabbage, onions, whatever. So I probably won't be doing any fermenting of the carrots by themselves. And I will be doing a video real soon. Might even shoot it today if all goes well, about my favorite things to ferment, because that was a request I had from one of our followers. But if I like the way those frozen ones turned out, I might go ahead and chop up quite a bit of them just for doing that, and freezing them up in small amounts so I can have them ready for the stir fry. So I'd be throwing in those peppers, because I did some of those sweet peppers too in those same bags. And then I've got my snow peas that I have frozen up in the little 1/2 pint jars, and so I mix all those together. They're the perfect things for throwing into stir fries. And those of course are my homegrown snow peas, because snow peas are one thing we can grow here very, very well. I mean, they just blow up here. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, now I mentioned in that video that last week's this and that about the green stock. Now I did buy the soil, but I haven't had a chance to fill up the containers yet, the tiers yet, because it's been either extremely cold or very, very wet like right now. And then yesterday would have been a great day, but I had to get that canning done, so I was working on the carrots yesterday. But anyway, I did get my tomatoes and peppers started. And one thing I forgot about when I was talking about the seeds that I was going to start, and the peppers that I'm going to grow, is I did in the seeds I bought from on Etsy. I got a whole bunch of seeds here I bought from Etsy, a couple of different places. I bought these back, I think, in August. So I forgot until I was planting my seed that I did find one of the places they had these little tiny red mini bell peppers. I mean, they're just little. And so I'm going to try these. So that's going to be a sweet pepper, because as others were saying under that video, yes, because of our climate, a smaller pepper is going to do better. And I knew that there were some sweet peppers. I've grown the Marconis fairly well here. Jen sent me a bunch of seed several years ago, and they've done pretty good for us, but I want to try some even these smaller ones to see if they do even better. And then another pepper I'm trying are they're called a lemon habanero. So we'll give those a try and see how well they do. But I did go ahead and break open one of my little Chinese 5-color, and I got a whole bunch of these started. I found just one of these. When I broke it open, I could not believe how many seeds were inside there. So more than enough seed in just one of these peppers for this year's. I should have quite a few plants, but I still have 4 more. I didn't save a whole bunch, but if those do well and they grow well, then next year I'll see if I can't save a bunch more and possibly offer them on our store next year. And a couple other things I want to talk about new seed. Now I mentioned in another video the I'll put a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. That I will be trying the red sweet corn. It's called Double Red. It just looked beautiful, and I'm just going to do a sample of those. I'll still be growing my glass gem corn because I know I can grow that, but I'm going to do a sample of this one to see if this will be a good one to grow in our area. And let's see, a couple other new things I'm going to be trying are a couple of different sunflowers. I've had the Lemon Queens sunflowers for years. Those actually came from a packet of free seeds. I think from the very first Baker Creek order I ever did, I got those, and they've always done well, and I've been just grow them every year from the seeds from the year before, and those do pretty good. Now I've tried a couple of their sunflowers, and unfortunately those didn't do good, but I'm going to try again with a couple others. And I found these on Etsy, and one of these is supposed to be a dark orange, and then the other one is a nice deep burgundy. And I just really wanted to try those just for the sake of their beauty. And if nothing else, another thing a person can possibly get into is selling cut flowers from their garden. So if you can grow flowers really well and you're just trying to look at a side business, a lot of times people are looking for flowers like that for weddings. And I've had people come by before and ask if they could buy some flowers from me to put a bouquet together. And I actually, because it was a friend, I went ahead and put one together for her anyway, just gave her the flowers for free. But that's something you can consider if you can grow some really good flowers, whether it be roses or sunflowers. A lot of people are using sunflowers as in their bouquets anymore, and especially with all the beautiful colors there are out there, if you can grow sunflowers good, that might be an option. And again, whatever other flowers, because you might be surprised, even a lot of your mints and your catnip and some of your other things can make good combinations to throw together into a bouquet. So even a lot of your herbs, feverfew, added in there, they might not smell the best, but they can add some beauty to a bouquet. So then another one, I'm going to try again from seed to grow some onions. Now these are a smaller onion, a little red Italian onion, and so we'll see. I'll try those from seed. I just never do great with onions from seed, but I want to keep trying with different varieties and see if there's one that will do better growing from seed here in our climate. And then of course I mentioned in one video the astragalus. This is the new herb I'm adding this year. And then as far as herbs that I started new last year, like the horehound and the chicory, those will probably be a couple that this year, depending on what kind of seed I can get from them, I might try collecting seed from them and possibly put those up on our store when those seeds are ready. And those people who are interested in buying dandelion seed, those will probably be the first. Even though we've always got seed up there's some seed that we never run out of because we always have tons. But believe it or not, last year I started selling dandelion seed for the first time, and we sold out just like that. I mean, they were gone. I could not believe it. So it'll probably be late spring, early summer. I should have more dandelion seed up on the store for those who are interested. And I know some people are probably just listening to this going, people buy dandelion seed? Yes, they do, because believe it or not, there are some places where it's a little harder to grow dandelion. I know that's a hard concept for some of us to grasp. And or people are looking for dandelion that they know was grown organically and hadn't been sprayed. And so sometimes, you know, just going out and getting some wild dandelion seed off the side of the road, well, you don't know what all's on that, if it's been sprayed with anything by the city or whatever. So I think that's the other reason why people prefer to buy dandelion seed, even if that does grow wild in their area. And speaking of the Etsy store, you can see back here in that corner, I got a 5-pound bag of beeswax. I finally found that I could buy some in bulk, the beeswax pellets, because that's what I use in my skin cream and the lip balms that go up on my store. And I got to get busy making more skin cream, hopefully today or tomorrow, because it seems like every week now I'm having to make a couple of batches because it's one of my best-selling products. And for those who have been asking about the soap, you know, I still have people coming in asking me if I'm still making and selling the soap. No, and I don't know when or if I'll ever get back into it, because it was just one of the many things I had to cut due to my time constraints, especially now that I'm watching the grandbaby 3 days of the week. I had to make some choices as to what I was going to cut. Do I stop making the soap, or do I cut back on the amount of videos I put out per week? And then when I found out I was watching Jackson 3 days a week, I still had to make some more choices. What can I cut to make the time to still be able to watch my grandbaby? Now, some things you can see I've still been putting out 5 videos a week because we've been able to balance some things out, but I've still had to slow down on certain other products on the store, and we're still doing those things. I just can't put out as much of them, but I am still doing custom orders for skirts and aprons. You just won't see as many of those going up on the store on a regular basis. But that's also the reason why I still have people coming in all the time. Have you written a book, or will you write a book? I will link you back to a video I shot this last summer down below in the description box about that very question if you're curious. And right now, nope, I just do not have the time. Again, if I was to choose to do that, there would have to be more sacrifices made. And I think the only way I could pull it off right now would be to quit doing videos altogether. So it's a choice. Do I write a book, or do I keep doing YouTube? So far, the consensus I get from most people is keep doing YouTube. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, back to the skin cream. It's time for me to strain out another jar of my infused oil. Now, for those who would prefer to make their own skin cream and their own infused oil, I have videos on both of these things, because the herb infused oil, these are all my own homegrown herbs, is one of the main ingredients in my homemade skin cream. And so I will go ahead and link to the videos I have on how to make your own. But if you would like to try some, again, you can check out our Etsy store. I have 3 different varieties. The ingredients are all the same. The difference between those are the essential oils added for the sake of the smell and also the benefits to the skin, because I only put in essential oils that are beneficial to your skin. So you can check out that link below. And remember, if you decide to get into making your own, you can customize it to suit you. You don't have to put in any essential oils if you do not want to, or put in the ones that you know are going to be good for your skin and not burn it. Like, you don't want to put oregano oil in there, but the ones that are going to suit you or that you prefer the smell of. And remember, citrus oils you should avoid if you have very fair skin and you burn easily when you're out in the sun. And then with that in mind, another infused oil this is the one for the hair growth oil. And this is my most recent one I did a video on, and look how dark that is. It's been infusing for over 2 months now, and I'm thinking I might strain it out now, but I still have a bunch left from my last batch. It takes me a long time to work through it. So I might just go ahead and leave the herbs in there until I actually need it. And I haven't decided. I may not add any essential oil to this one because I have so many great herbs in there. I'll link to the video I did on this down below, but I can't remember if I said or not. You can add your essential oils in there, and they can have their own benefits as well as adding some nice smell to your oil. But you can also leave them out and just rely on the herbs that you grow yourself and make your own combination, and that will be a little less expensive as well. So you don't even have to mess with the essential oils if you don't want. But if I do, I might just only do the lavender in this one. I don't know. Usually I'll do lavender and rosemary and sage, but I might just stick with the lavender if I add any to this blend. And one more thing I forgot to say back when I was mentioned the green stalk planter. I'll put a link to that down below. Now remember, if you're interested in the vertical garden, there's a few different sizes and types you can get. There's the leaf planter that's more for growing things with short roots, like your lettuces and such. They're only 7 inches deep, and then the one I got is the original one that's 10 inches deep because I want to have options. So if you go through the link I'll put down below, not only can you save, I think it's $10 on your order if you purchase through that link. That also does help us, and I'm bringing this up mostly not just for that. I want to give a big thank you to many people that already purchased through that link. Even though I haven't had a chance to actually use my planter yet, I just want to say I really appreciate that even though I haven't had a chance to actually use it and do a full review on it, you went ahead and went through my link and purchased the green stalk planter, and thank you so much for that. That really helps us a lot and keeps us here on YouTube, because as many different ways that we bring in the income from sources like that just keeps us here doing what we're doing, and we really appreciate the support that many have shown for us in so many different ways, whether it be through Patreon, which I don't advertise much because I really don't post anything to Patreon. I try to, but I'm really bad at keeping up on it. And really, our Patreon, it's free to everyone. I don't have any posts that are locked down. So even if you're not donating anything through there, you can still go read any of my written recipes. And that's the thing about Patreon. That's what I've decided to reserve it for, is anytime I'm going to write out a list or actually take the time to actually write one of my recipes down, I put it over on Patreon, and it doesn't cost you a dime to go view it. You just have to go there to find it. So our Patreon link is always in the description box down below with the rest of our social media links if you're curious about that. But again, you don't have to do any of that. Some people just choose to donate through Patreon. Is just a way to show their support, and I want to thank you for that. I don't say thank you enough for that because I forget about Patreon all the time, and I apologize for that. But again, thank you for that. Thank you for those who choose to go through our Amazon links to help support us that way. And for those who are boycotting Amazon, we understand. Remember, if you're wanting to help us out in any way, our Etsy store is a great way to do that. We offer so many products that we make ourselves or grow ourselves that you can check out there. And if you can't afford to do any of that, then just keep watching and keep sharing our videos, because that helps too. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed my this and that video for the week. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.